The healthcare system after the Internet of Things is embedded. The research question is, to what extent has the Internet of Things impacted overall healthcare? It is crucial to understand what the Internet of Things really is. As a very broad explanation to it, it is just internet connected to other pieces of technology to deliver data and communication. These pieces of data and tech are made solely to make life easier, and really it's not seen as needed, but more as like dumbed down things that humans find that they need just to make their life easier and simpler. And the development of the Internet of Things has increased greatly. As you can see in this chart by Grandview Research Inc., healthcare is the most increasing in the development of the Internet of Things. By 2022, it would have increased the most. New inventions are being made every day. Electronic health records. I shall connect the electronic health records to the Internet of Things. More than 8 in 10 doctors across the country, 83% of them have adopted electronic health records. It is a way, again, you don't need it, but it's easier. Instead of having someone or a file clerk to go look at the files and look up the files, you can easily just have them in your computer. It is illogical, really, to go into a file room and look for them when you can simply just pull up the file and the records through a computer and patient records. It is also more secure, and it won't be easily lost as opposed to having papered records. Reasons for healthcare online e-health. Most individuals don't always have patient satisfaction with their medical provider, so they seem to go virtually just to go away from those negative experiences. And honestly, it's just easier for them to do a virtual consult instead of going to the actual consult. In this piece of evidence, it states individuals use a greater number of e-health activities, especially activities that are independent of healthcare providers when they experience problem with their healthcare. And as you can see in this chart, before the pandemic, pre-pandemic, improved customer service has improved 43% and is expected to achieve in the next 2 years 41%. And the picture is by Business Insider. Now, reason for telemedicine or e-health. While we are going through a pandemic, it has been conflicted to us where not everyone is able to go to the doctor and medically get their needs and physically go there. So virtually, it has been a gift from the Internet of Things for the medical system and healthcare, where instead of that, you can just physically call your doctor and have a virtual meeting instead of actually going there. It is safer, and it also reduces chances of getting the actual virus. As you can see in this picture by UFCS Education, this doctor is calling the patient, which is easier from doing at home. And e-health or telemedicine is not effective. This is what some may say. Here in this piece of evidence, it says, medicine physician Jude Hollander says, so if I need to look in your throat, I can get a phone position so I can look in your throat. I can clearly see that you're breathing or well, not breathing. I can see your respiratory rate. I can see whether you look to be well or sick. This is what technology has provided medical providers and patients with virtually. Some may say it doesn't work, but honestly, if you, as you can see from this doctor, she is saying that she can figure out whether or not you are sick. So, and as you can see from this chart from 2018 to March 2020 by picture by Deloitte, there's an increasing number of virtual healthcare among Gen Z and baby boomers, and you can see right here the increasing chart. Significant application of the Internet of Things in the healthcare system. One of the many inventions that the healthcare system has created for many people with disabilities or just troubles is hearables, and they're new hearing aids. And as you can see, this girl is confident to wear them just because of the place that everyone, this world that everyone is living in today. It is normal to have earbuds or Bluetooth things where that just looks normal. And there was an article that said that some people feel discouraged or embarrassed to wear their hearing aids just because a lot of people point them out. And honestly, this isn't seen as a hearing aid. It's just like an earbud or an AirPod. So it is a way of people to interact with the world of hearing loss. The future of virtual health. There are many devices being made up that can track your health where there are pills you can swallow, and doctors can track you all the time throughout things. For example, this picture or this graph shows what an old man walking with heart respiratory problems, if anything happens, it'll connect his phone, then we'll call his physician, then the family, and then the emergency. And it is all connected to one thing, the internet, which is why the Internet of Things is amazing when it is applied to the healthcare system. This is a chart of 5 key areas in which the virtual health has improved everything. Enhanced care coordination, about 1 in 2 physicians see improved care and coordination quality of care through virtual care. Improved clinical outcomes, 74% adherence rate on average for heart failure. Enhanced customer experience, 2 in 3 health plans think virtual health has improved overall member satisfaction and improved efficiency. Patients save about 2 hours on average per virtual visit. And expand customer and clinical access. It is easier for anyone to access virtual health than actually going to the physician. And this source is by Deloitte and Alice. These are my citations. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes, I do have 2 questions for you. Let's talk about your sources. Tell me how valid and reliable those sources were, and how do you know that they were?
Well, honestly, I didn't even, from going back to the first assignment when we did the annotated bibliography, I didn't realize how important that assignment was going to affect my writing and then going to finding my citations. It was really like, it was pretty simple. When I did all the annotations and stuff, I just went back and to make sure and to see what I actually put in my annotated bibliography to see whether or not it was like a tier 1, tier 3, tier 4, things like that. And I also went to each source and I made sure they weren't biased. Most of the sources I used did have 2 sides where it was like positive or negative. And I just included the side that helped with my thing. And I also looked at the sources that the actual source used, like where did they find this information? Because some of them did include pieces of evidence and then they did their reasoning. So it was like mostly like if some of the sources only had data upon one side, it was biased. I didn't go towards that source. Instead, I used one that had 2 points of view and its reasoning for it.
Okay. And then if you were going to give advice to somebody who was doing this topic in the future, research present, what advice would you have for them?
To follow the rubric, and also the videos that you posted on Canvas were helpful. I just look out for any information that you give and take note of that, and look at the rubric honestly, because each rubric tells you the points, and that's what I tried doing. I looked at it, the oral part, and then the presentation part, and just follow and make sure you have everything in, and don't read from the slides even though you want to. Just don't do it, and have natural gestures, and if you mess up, just keep going and make sure you're prepared for it, honestly.
Okay.